Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'll be talking to Grammy Award-winning, multi-platinum selling singer, songwriter, record producer, artist, and frontman of the band Winnetka Bowling League, and my very good friend, one of my best friends actually, Matthew Koma. Let's go.
That's my kind. I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
It's gonna be hard to take you seriously during this.
I know, but try.
I will.
Try.
A little bit.
Because we have serious talks, so I know we're not going to have too serious of a talk here.
Let's go deep.
This will probably be my favorite episode yet.
That's big praise.
So everybody listening, they probably don't even know we're like best friends.
Yeah, we're in a
Close friends.
We're in a throuple.
I'm not going to say I'm your best friend because I know you have a couple other best friends.
No, you're
I
there.
don't want to
No.
offend any of your other.
My other best friends are listening.
And they're all girls.
You could have everything in the will.
What's that?
You could have everything in the will.
Yeah. We're very close friends now, but we met when you were like 17.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were a band, and I was in a bad band that got signed, I guess, my senior
What
year
was
of
the name
high
of the band?
school. One Republic.
Yeah.
And we went on to have a lot of success.
Yeah,
But it just
once you left.
It took a minute to click once I was replaced. We were called
You were replaced by Ryan Tedder.
I was, yeah. Bandcamp was the name of our band, which was so fucking bad and so embarrassing. But somebody with power liked our songs and decided to give us a record deal when I was like, I guess, 16 or 17. And then they introduced us to work together.
Yeah.
With you and Benj.
And then we worked on that first record.
We actually did. We worked together for probably, a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly
And
Benj,
pretty
but I
much
was in and out.
stayed in touch.
Yeah.
With little pauses since then, but
Yeah.
for the most part, we never really lost touch. At least, if I wasn't talking to you a ton, I'd be talking to Benj or Josh or whatever.
One thing I'll say is every now and then in music, you meet good people and you go, oh, they're like a real person. And you connect.
Totally.
And then you're like, oh, I could be, you become friends with people.
I think I was a little young to have that radar yet.
I did about you. I was like, oh, and
Yeah.
you are also super talented. Your songwriting and you have you're you. So you have you just have a vibe.
That's very kind, but
It's true.
I
That's why
definitely-
you got signed.
I look back at,
Whether or not that band was the right thing.
yeah, no, it was terrible.
You know how these things work out, but
Yeah.
the songs were there, the talent was there, and you go, oh, that's a real one. He's gonna make it somehow, some way. And then you did go on to have
Very
tons of
kind.
success, and now your career is Winnetka Bowling League. The best version of a band you could be in is that. But it took Bandcamp and the things you did in between to get to Winnetka. So that's all the growth arc and the
Yeah.
development of an artist. You don't know when things grow and become fully blossomed and fully grown, but that you did with this band, and you guys have an incredible catalog and great songs. So
Maybe.
we
I
weren't
don't
wrong
know
about-
that it's funny. I think starting this band was definitely that, I'm going to do the thing that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
I always want to do the thing that you don't have to make excuses for.
I actually just think the thing that you're fully in control of.
But I still feel like after any significant amount of time from releasing music, it still becomes something you're somewhat embarrassed or apologetic of. Already, even though this started as the thing of this is going to be the thing where we make no decisions that aren't in favor of just the music being great or whatever the thing is. And it still sort of ends up being something you're like, oh, I'm kind of in ways as embarrassed of it as I was Bandcamp 20 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah, I just think that's you.
Totally. It's my own stuff.
Because what I see Bandcamp where you started was you trying without knowing how good you were or knowing what this whole thing was. And then you go through a career of success. Success, however you want to measure success in music, we could say, hit songs, writing hit songs,
Yeah.
or, getting paid to making a living doing music, right?
Totally.
Producing, writing. It never really comes exactly how you thought it would.
I think that's it. That's it. And it does for some people. And I think in the best case scenario, it does, where you or at least from the outside, you watch somebody's career and you're like, oh, they were kind of always doing the thing they were doing, and then it
Looks perfect.
and then it worked and it clicked and
Yeah.
it was perfect, and now they're being honored for the thing that's their truth. And sometimes that's true, and pieces of that I think remain true even for me, but it certainly doesn't feel like that because you're right. I think sometimes you have these doors that open and you decide to walk through them because why not, and then you're sort of looking around even with success saying how and why am I here.
I believe you came into the music business at a young age with a really good idea and a really like pure heart of like, I'm going to do this. But the music business is not for kids. It is a fucking adult world where you get hard truths and you don't even know the behind the scenes of what's really going on. Like they're saying, we worked the record, it didn't work. And you're like, they either didn't work the record,
Yeah.
or they ran out of money, or some other record
Or
started.
100,000 things.
There's a bunch of things that could go wrong, and you are not in control of any of them.
Not one.
And then you get like this heartbreak. Usually, all of us have
I
that.
could still remember
somehow.
like getting the phone call of being dropped for the first time.
Yeah.
And not really even taking it in a way of, oh man, I'm sad, but taking it in a way of, okay, I can't let my bandmates down, so I got to figure this out and how to spin it. I was like 18.
Yeah.
Like I got to spin this and figure out how I'm going to make it feel like it's a good thing so we can keep putting gas in the tank and keep driving down whatever this road is.
Keep trying to climb the mountain. But now you look back on that and you probably go, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Thank God. I think.
100%. I mean, I can't even imagine a world in which the first thing that we did worked and then that becomes the thing.
Yeah.
And again, that's the case for a lot of people, and it's awesome because you build on whatever you can build on, I think is the truth.
Yeah.
If it works the first thing out of the gates, great. You'll figure it out later and how to shape it.
I couldn't have written a better script the way your life has played out, because when I look at your life, I'm like, oh, this guy has everything. He's got it worked out. He got a family, got a career, does whatever the fuck he wants, doesn't give a fuck. That's how it feels from the outside. And certainly I know you well enough.
I care a lot about the work.
You care about the music, the song, but I'm saying you're not chasing fame. I just know you well enough to know that you're free from a lot of the things that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people struggle with, I need another hit.
Yeah.
I need to stay relevant, whatever that means. The elusive fame thing that people think matters, or
I think that might have been
worth something.
One of the good things about being exposed to such a, I don't know, exaggerated version of it early on and at a young age was getting the peek behind the curtain really early and being like, oh, it's nothing, and I actually don't like that party. I think that was healthy in a weird way, where sometimes I know that has the opposite effect, where it kind of makes you hungrier for that thing or whatever. But yeah, not without work to get to that place, but I do feel really lucky that I get to work on stuff and make stuff that I think is cool.
And it matters.
And
work with cool artists. You make, I mean, I said this to you, and I've said it to a bunch of people. You're hands down, pound for pound, the best producer, writer.
That's ridiculous.
That I've ever worked with.
Because I'm light, because like I don't weigh that much.
No, just what you.
Yeah, that's
metaphorically
what you mean.
speaking.
Yeah, don't weigh that much.
No, I don't mean that you're skinny, but you are.
So there's not a lot to.
I also wish I was your stature, because you have a nice lean, good mix of lean.
It's just I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, well,
when you can't do
you're
dairy,
skinny, but you also have lean muscle mass, so that's a really good place to be.
That's genetics.
Yeah, it is. I don't have those genetics.
My dad is jacked. He's not jacked. No.
He's a lean.
He's diabetic, so that keeps him lean.
Yeah.
It's in check, though.
So you learn to live that way, even though you're not diabetic.
Diabetic, yeah. I follow a diabetic diet.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly not diabetic.
But yeah, so you're one of the best I've ever encountered, and I've been able to work with some really great producers, and I just like put you on the top in my top 5.
That's beyond kind.
For being able to write music and melody and produce. It's just really hard to find someone that can do it and be diverse about it.
I think if there's anything that I have confidence in, and why I started writing songs to begin with, it's like I really like words. I like stories. I like for lack of a better term, the poetry of it. And all the other stuff was sort of learned as a function of just being the vehicle for it. Because I remember I was signed to Interscope for a while, and really early on, before I had any hits or any songs work, Jimmy Iovine offered me a producer deal. He's like, I just want to like lock you in so you could produce a bunch of stuff for Interscope. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I've never produced anything. Like that's insane. And sure enough, like the path would reveal itself over the next year or whatever, that would become a necessity just based on some of the encounters with people I was working with or the sessions that were set up. So I feel like all of that stuff just became a need more than a want. I never was like, I can't wait to produce records when I get older. Like that wasn't the thing. It was sort of just, well, if I have these songs that I want to write and record in my parents' house, I should learn how to use Pro Tools. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, I guess I should get a better mic. And it sort of just becomes a ladder, you know?
Well, that's the natural progression of a talented person. Because a lot of people are like, me included, by the way, I can't produce. I can't.
Well, produce has also become such a different word in the past, whatever years. Like you're very good at a broad stroke vision of like, this ticks a box, you know, and that's different from like what a producer has become, which is the technical, like I'm going to sit down and engineer everything and edit everything. And like, because
I'm a little old school in what my idea of producing is you have to be able to record music and then get the music into, and actually be able to do it from the live instrument into the computer.
Totally.
As opposed to just sitting on the computer and making sounds.
Yeah.
So I'm a little old school like that. Not that I dismiss any of these producers today that are incredible producers.
Dismiss them. Who don't you like?
You would love that, wouldn't you?
So I'm in your top 5 producers. Bottom 3?
I don't tend to focus on things I don't like.
Oh, okay.
I'm different from you.
I focus mostly on the thing. I actually get more joy from bad music. I'm not kidding. I get so much more joy from bad music and bad videos.
It's one of the things I want to talk about. Is
like it does something to me that
you love
bad music.
But I don't know. Look, we all have to have some interaction with social because it's a part of running our businesses, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how I look at it anyways. And I think that at the core of people, we want to share. We do actually want to share. Like if I can I don't share a lot about my kids, but I want to.
Yeah.
And I try to do it in a way I don't do it a lot, but I want to do it. But I'm also terrified that I'll endanger them if I say the wrong thing or I'll embarrass them or whatever. So especially with teenagers.
So you think I'm a bad parent because I post my kids?
No, because when mine were younger, I posted more.
It's more the older.
When they get older, they get more
sensitive about it.
Sensitive, and they become their own person, and you're you have less of a say of what the world knows about them. And I think 12, 13, it changes. It's like they start going like, Dad, don't post my birthday. I don't want to know how proud you are. You can tell me. You don't have to tell everyone. But you're proud of them and you want to share it with people.
Which is, it is a weird exercise and selfish. And even thinking about when I do it, I'm just like, I guess it's not.
I like it. I love following you and I love it when you post about your family because I love your family.
Yeah.
And I just know that.
I do too. They're cool.
They're cool and you guys are cool. And you guys have done this thing.
They are.
You guys have this you have a family that you hope that families are having this experience. And I've gotten to I get to see your real life and then I see your social life. And it's
you did leave out the part that we're also neighbors.
We're neighbors.
So
we hang out a lot. Yeah.
But our wives are friends.
Our wives are best friends.
Kids hang. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah. It's a whole world.
That's how I got on the podcast.
That's how you got on the podcast.
It's like, it's nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's nepotism?
I'm your nepo baby. Yeah. I'm Joel's nepo baby.
Nicole's your nepo baby.
She's my goddaughter.
She is. So we have all these inside jokes and we have like real family bonds. But the things that I tend to get inspired by are people sharing things that I think other people should see because it gives them something to aim at. Whether you feel that way or not about your family, I do because most families aren't functioning and you guys function. You guys have a functional...
Most days. I don't think I think maybe to a fault too much about what I put on social media. It's not like, it's definitely not an overthought thing. It's like...
I know.
it's sort of an extension, maybe even in a bad way of just like
I don't think it's bad.
just sharing whatever. But
I think you're wild sometimes. Like I'll even say like Matt.
yeah.
But
My wife she gets 3 times a year to censor it, to be like, you gotta take that down,
you get 3
right?
cards a year.
Yeah.